Hey, guess what? We're back and we're live.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna punch right through this thing one day. It's Jess the Sky Kid. It's Wednesday night. We're at the BMB and all the way from Chicago, Illinois tonight. Nowhere Dontcare is joining us, so pull up a beer and grab a chair and take it away, guys. Woo!
This song is called Frustrations. With a bus you in the back 13, no first whip, in a water bed, Jeremy don't feel on my bread. Gotta fix this drum thing, fell off.
What?
It'll do that.
The kick fell off.
Oh.
Hey everybody, we're Nowhere Dontcare. This always happens, no matter what the situation is.
Alright.
We're known for our raucous punk rock sound and our slapstick comedy. It's called Beaufort. Back to me, good story.
Why you gotta rock so hard you destroy everything?
He just can't control himself. It's an issue.
All right, this song is called Fun. It's about things that are not fun. Ready?
Irony poisoned.
No. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go.
That's right. I said it. I said who.
Rock and roll! Rock and roll!
All right.
This one's an instrumental for all you
So sing along.
grandpas out there who like the surf musics.
Hell yeah!
See, the surf music is like the...
Can you say it in Yiddish?
Yeah, say surf music in Yiddish. I know surf is just gonna be surf.
Wassernadeln.
Say it in the microphone.
Es ist jetzt kein Ort zu Wassernadeln.
Thank you.
Long.
Like I said. All right.
You said words. It wasn't an instrumental.
Okay. Well, you know what? Wipeout also has that part that goes ha 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 ha. And,
Wipeout, right?
yeah.
I love this song because
Wipeout.
that guy thinks Wipeouts are hilarious. Like you think
And,
he's laughs at everything like that? Like he's like SpongeBob.
So on,
Mr. Lou has ha ha ha.
you guys have a question from the listening audience. They want to know if you have Bandcamp.
Yes, it is nowhere, don't care, 182.bandcamp.com. Because apparently some other nowhere don't care is out there, but their page is empty. So we're the only real nowhere don't
Is
care.
it the double slash?
No, because that does stuff on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
It's all one word.
Nowhere, don't care,
Internet
182.
glyphics.
Yeah.
Dot think. So that's like Lumpkins.
Yes, it is. We have a few recordings on our Bandcamp right now, but we're actually in the process of actually legitimately recording with like a multi-track and everything. So we'll see what happens with that, if anything. This song is called Lumpin' Troll. If that song has a message, right now it's protect trans kids.
Yes. Our next song doesn't have a message.
We get political sometimes. We're a punk band.
Our next song doesn't have a message. It's about eating at a disgusting diner.
Ah, yes. Unwashed Spoon. Bad Yelp review. What's the music?
Oh my god.
Oh, it's time for another instrumental.
They give you like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Luke was a comedian. Tell a joke.
Oh, I told a joke earlier. Oh. Forgot we didn't really take a road trip to come out here, but anytime I've been taking a road trip in the past, we always stop by a Cracker Barrel, and their naming for their demographic is spot on. You know, like, yeah, somebody, what do you want for dinner tonight? Like, oh, I'm thinking something white. You know, a white dinner.
So I walked by Sports Authority the other day, and it was going out of business. And I said, wow, there's 2 things I'm not into. Just goes to show you, you know. Meanwhile, at Dick's Sporting Goods, things couldn't be better. Just shows you what sells these days.
Dick's?
Aw, just a bunch of dicks.
White dinner. That was fucking great.
All right, my favorite flavor is clear.
Oh,
What are we doing now?
This song is about North Avenue Beach in Chicago, or any number of beaches across the lovely Midwest.
I love that you're using your set list as like your one.
Let's hop back here. Ready? No place to surf.
Oh, I got another one for y'all. This is my impression of Gollum trying to figure out a movie to rent.
Precious. Based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
Damn.
Wow.
All right, this is a 90s classic. It's not a cover. I mean, it's kind of because Avi stole the lyrics from a band from the 90s. Not one that you would know. We're his friends, so it's okay. At least that's what he tells us. I think we might get sued. But I wrote original music for it, so that's what matters.
Okay. The name of this song is called I Hate Tommy Hilfiger. Pause for applause. Okay.
We need like a cinder block in front of that thing.
Something.
Yeah, we got two more.
Yeah, this is too late for it.
Yeah. We can handle it.
We'll make it through. We've been through worse.
Oh.
All right. The song's called I Hate Tommy Hilfiger. It's about the 1990s.
Hoot! The owl is getting louder.
Hell yeah. Give a hoot. Read a book.
You got any jokes about owls?
I don't.
No, I don't. No, none. Zero.
Got a fun fact. They have like really skinny legs.
Yeah.
You know, they just look like that because of feathers.
Did you know that the character of Night Owl in Watchmen is based on Blue Beetle, a Charleston character, who will have a movie coming out this summer that no one's going to go and see?
They really aren't.
I mean, It's a DC movie. People don't see those.
Well, I've also only seen one trailer for it.
Speaking of trailers, this song is about a movie.
A great movie that was remade into a bad movie. This movie is called this movie is yes, the movie's called Point Break. This song is called Live to Get Radical.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm born ready. You're not ready.
Sorry. I let you go for a minute. Sorry.
Take 3.
What's up, dude? Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. I love you, Keanu. That's it. We're done.
Our song.
That was all our songs.
Not all of them. We have more, but we just don't have them.
Oh, well, this was Nowhere Don't Care. They came with pithy banter and a lot of great entertainment. After a short break, which you can still enjoy some wonderful musical selections for you by what is that? Sound and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. I'm a great friend. Thanks, John. We're gonna play some music videos, and then we'll be right back with an interview. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Rock and roll.
Brothers and sisters, today I want to talk to y'all about rock. We ain't talking about punk rock. We ain't talking about crack rock. We ain't talking about arena rock, baby. We ain't talking about cock rock. We ain't talking about glam rock, death rock, noise rock, post-punk, prog rock, art rock, or roots rock, baby. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge. And you, well, you just an angel. Now get out of here!
So soon you take me up in your arms, too late to beg you. Cancel it though, I know it must be. killing time. Fate up against your will, through the thick and thin. You will wait until you give yourself to him.
Uncle Joe, it's raining and the people are so trying to stand around. How great it is. Oh, it makes me feel happy. Oh, yeah. Just to know we can start in the rain and sing. And the people are so sweet to stay here.
Oh, it gets sweet.
And I come in on a...
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I come in on. Oh, yeah! Get the key. Didn't it rain, children? Rain, oh yes. Didn't it? Yes, didn't it? You know it did, didn't it? Oh, oh yes, how it rained. I said it rained, children. Rain, oh yes. Didn't it? Yes, didn't it? You know it did, or didn't it? Oh my Lord, how it rained. You know it rained 40 days, rained 40 nights. Now make my garment fit me right. When I get to heaven, gonna put on my robe, walk around in glory, tell the glad news. Look up David in the heat of the day, tune up a harp and begin to play. I know it rained, you know it rained. Oh, how it rained, rained too long, all night long. Rain, 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 rain. Didn't it rain, children? Rain, oh yes. Didn't it, yes. Didn't it, you know it did, or didn't it? Oh my Lord, how it rained. I know it rain, you know it rain. Rain too long, all night long. Rain all day, rain all night. Rain, 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 rain. Rain, 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 rain. Rain, children. Rain, oh yes. Didn't it, yes. Didn't it, you know it did or didn't it? Oh my Lord. How it rain.
Hey, guess what? We're live.
Cool. I hope it works because
I hope
sometimes
so, too.
when we come back from this, it's like, and it's like a robot. So if we have to stop and restart, I'm Jess the Ska Kid. It's Wednesday night. We're at the B&B. We're at the interview portion of the show. I don't think we've been on since March, and to welcome us back is Dontcare from Chicago, Illinois.
Hello.
A wonderful blend of punk, surf, and ska and jazz, and just an amalgamation of wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're going to do introductions and what you do in the band. You may start.
I'm John. I play the guitar and do some vocals here and there. I also write most of the music, 90%.
Yeah. I'm Avi, and I play drums and sing some songs and maybe sometimes some lyrics.
I'm Luke. I play bass and occasionally backup. I usually sing cover songs anytime we have cover songs.
We didn't play any of those tonight.
Yeah.
100% originals.
Yeah.
So the last time you guys were with us was 2019, I think.
Yeah.
You came on a Sunday night to play at Union Park Tavern, and then COVID kind of shut everything down. At that point, that was only your second show to catch everybody up. So give a brief, when did you start, and kind of overview of how you survived COVID and have continued to play music. Give us a rundown of what the last, it feels like fucking forever, 4 years has felt like.
Well, we started back at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. So we were a very new band when we first played you.
Yeah, that was our second show.
And basically, Avi and I have known each other for years and years and years. We're both Jews, so all Jews know each other. We met at Hebrew school. I'm kidding. But yeah, so we've been friends for a long time, and we've been talking about playing music together for a while, and so we just started doing it. And I had known Luke because
I was friends with your roommate.
Yeah, he was friends with one of my roommates. And one night he was chilling, and we had like a little tiny bass guitar in the apartment, and he started playing the bass line from Only in Dreams, the Weezer song. And I was like, oh, dude, you can play the bass. We need a bass player. So that's how he joined the band.
That was the same bass guitar I used the last time we played this show, and with a little $10 junior scale bass piece of crap.
Hey, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, it sounded surprisingly good. We still have it.
Yep. As far as like how we have survived.
Well, we had already planned on taking like a break for a little while, right when COVID started getting bad.
Yeah.
Because we played a bunch of shows. We wanted to record something, and we were going to try and do it ourselves, and then lockdown stuff happened. I think we didn't practice for a long time. Yeah.
And then we started to practice again, and we haven't been playing a lot of shows.
Yeah, this is our first one back since 2020.
Oh wow, I like that. We're just
No, we did.
Yeah, we did Flabby Hoffman's show in last year, basically.
Yes.
So
it was also similar to this, where there's no audience. Or anything, so
live stream, which was fun.
Well, that was because Chicago was really, really strict about what was going on. What is the city like now?
Oh, I mean, it is like it never happened, man. Like that's the thing about it.
They cough in your face and spit in your food.
You know, you still see people
you
wearing
still wear
masks
masks on the train and on the
and
bus.
stuff like that, but it's not everyone. Which, like, honestly, I feel bad sometimes that I don't wear a mask because
I still wear
I want
one
to
on
be
the bus
responsible.
Or the train.
But
it's gross.
Legitimately, like Chicago is like completely back as far as like there's shows all the time. There's like people are going out all the time and stuff like that. It's a lot. The thing about it's back, but then like the thing about it is that like I feel like the scene is kind of fractured in some ways because like so many people haven't talked to each other in so long and stuff like that. So it's still in that weird part phase of like everyone's kind of still like getting back out. Like I know my friend's band like has only started playing shows again also in the last couple of months and things like that. But I feel like everyone's kind of back now, you know what I mean?
We're getting to learn each other again, basically, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then you're like, you know what? I went without you for so long. I don't like you. Bye. I have kind of hit that point where I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to really want to go to a show at this point to want like to go to a show.
Yeah,
Because
Something's different.
it is different, and it's not.
Or you're tired
I'm way tired.
and you just want to have matinees so everyone
I
can
do
be in
want to
bed.
have matinees.
Do you want to be just home at by 5 o'clock?
So Kif played a show June 30th at a skate park. By the way, if you want to ever play a skate park,
Yeah.
there's one that books shows.
Indoor skate park.
It's
Ooh,
super
cool.
cool. So
Where?
people are skating. It's in
Waukegan.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Starlight
Okay.
Skate Park,
Okay.
and right next to it is Crazy Laser tag, and other
laser
fun.
tag too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's super cool. People are skating around you as you're playing, you know, on one of the platforms. So, anyways, we were talking to, I think it was Matt from Fast Plants, and he's like, someone should bring back just 2 o'clock Sunday shows.
Yeah, no,
Because you can get
100%.
out, enjoy, and then go home, and that would be ideal. So,
I mean, also, like, legitimately, in Chicago, I think, like, there's a big problem with the lack of all ages shows.
that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
Starlight is an all age.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you do matinees and stuff, it's easier to do an all ages show. And, like, that's super important. I know when I was coming up, when I was a kid, I only went to all ages shows. It was all you could get into. But I saw amazing bands every single week. You know what I mean? Like, it was ridiculous. And I don't know if that's still happening. Like, you know, I used to be at the Fireside every single weekend and get in there for like $10, and it's like the best bands in the entire world. Like, yeah, sure, for folk bands, whatever. So that's the best bands in the entire world.
Right. It got you into what you're doing now and sparked, you know, fire inside you that leads you to where you are today.
I lived out in the country, out in Kentucky, like middle of nowhere. So all the shows I went to as a youth were like DIY. People I knew, my brother, his band, their friends, putting on shows.
So how do you end up in Chicago?
I originally moved here to do like I'd always wanted to live in a city, and then I was doing stand up for a little while and improv comedy, and then like I kind of got out of that just because like it was a lot of waiting around. Like most people who start doing it aren't gonna make it. Same thing with like a music career. So but also I started working in restaurants, and like you working nights when you're working in restaurants, so it's hard to really get out. Like still write and stuff. I'd still like to do something and like in
You
a
have a
creative way.
podcast.
Yeah, I have a podcast, Podzuki. We're hosted by Machine Culture. Check us out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I moved to Chicago because comedy was here, and I always wanted to move to Chicago and live in a city, someplace where I wouldn't have to own a car. That's what I hate about the South the most. I think it's so spread out. You really have to own a car, even in Louisville.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I've been through Louisville. I've actually stayed there once. It was an interesting trip. My dad brought me to a Vietnamese lady's house that he had met at work. Yeah, so we stayed with Whit Kim Win and her sister, who didn't speak any English, and they were making lots of, like, we were little kids, and like my dad's like, here, meet these people. So we sat in a very small apartment with these women who were cooking lots of things I don't even know what they were that I was scared to eat because at that time I was a little kid, and here's like a culture I'm not familiar with lots of parts of animals floating in the soup.
Yeah.
So
To do that, there's also a lot of like French influence on their cuisine because they were colonized by the
correct.
France for a long time.
So yes, it was a very interesting experience. being in Kentucky?
Yeah, lots of good things out in Louisville. My brother owns a couple of restaurants out there. I think he's a restaurateur in Louisville, and it's a good place to visit.
So do you still work in restaurants?
Yeah, I'm still working at restaurants. Yeah, that's how I pay the bills, and then try and do other stuff on the side in my spare time.
Do you do any stand-up at all anymore, or just the podcast?
I haven't been saying just a podcast and like writings and stuff. It's something I kind of wanted to get back into, but it's just a lot of waiting around. You got to start with the open mics. Those are all at night, and you're waiting around for like several hours to do 10 minutes of stuff. So you really got to be dedicated in order to make it as a stand-up comic.
You also have to be quiet as a viewer. So we went to Chicago in May of 2015, and we went to go see our friend's band Donoma play. That was at this like cabaret. And there was a stand-up show before then. So we walk in, and I see people I know, and I'm like, oh, me! Ah! And the person on stage, it was silent. They're like, can you shut the fuck up? Yeah. I was like, I just got shushed at a bar. What the fuck? And they're like, you're going to need to leave. I was like, I'm out of here. So I didn't know that was part of it. So
especially at a showcase. So the open mic, you can be pretty loud because nobody gives a shit because nobody's getting paid.
Right. Yeah, no, I was not like... It was just a quiet bar. When you come here, there's not a quiet bar. So, like, whoops. So we went and got tacos until Donoma. And it was an interesting show because it was all seated. So, like, you came and you sat in the audience. So.
Was it Gallery Cabaret? Was
Yes.
I knew the people who were running that show.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I still do. I'm like, I don't know what time it was. It was probably before my buddy was running it.
May 2015?
Yeah.
I knew someone there.
No, 2015 it totally would have been. Yeah, one of the dudes I do the podcast with.
Cool.
It's the same show. They did a bunch of shows there. So.
Probably, that girl you yelled at? She says, fuck you still. Love you. Anyway, let's talk about, I guess, where you're going now. Things are open. You made it. When did you start practicing again? When did you feel it was safe to, like, meet up? Or, because some bands did this, where they talked via Zoom and they played over that interface, or they sent things back and forth.
We weren't doing anything like that. We started, like, practicing. So, like, when we were first in lockdown, we didn't practice for a while, probably maybe 4 or 5 months. Then we started very cautiously beginning to practice again, maybe, like, towards the end of 2020.
2020, yeah. 2020.
Beginning of 2021.
When we all started hooking our heads up. I don't think we're gonna die.
Yeah, and then you moved, so we had to wait till you found a new apartment because we were practicing in the basement.
Oh.
Which was my basement before that, but then you moved to my old apartment.
Yeah. I specifically moved so that we could keep the practice space, and then after I moved in, the landlords were like, we're selling the building. So I was like, oh man. Mm-hmm. But we still practice my current apartment now, so,
And you're all in the city.
Yeah.
Yes.
I live in Old Irving Park. Abby's in Edgewater. Where are you? Albany Park.
Albany Park.
Yeah. So, like, all, like, northwest. Yeah.
Okay, Old Irving Park. Is that kind of over by, like...
It's by Logan Square.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I got a card code there. That was a fun night, too. So now that you're back, your goal is record, right? You mentioned that as you were performing.
Yeah.
What can you kind of run us through what this looks like for you? Are you going to DIY it?
Yes. So I have taken on like all the engineering and producing responsibilities because I used to be an AV kid when I was in high school. So obviously I'm the most qualified.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. And so we have a 16 track. We're just basically going through, we're recording like all the instruments live, same time, you know what I mean? And then I'm planning on dubbing in a couple extra guitar tracks, and then we're going to start recording vocals. We literally, like, 2 weeks ago was when we started this process. So we have got maybe about a third of our songs in some form, you know what I mean? But that's basically the plan for the rest of the summer, is to get that finished. Play some shows when we can find them, but really that's our focus, is recording and getting that done. Okay. We have like 12, 13 originals that are in various states of being finished, or like we've been playing them for years or whatnot. You know what I mean? I wrote a ton of material during the lockdown, as I'm sure a lot of other people were really generating a lot of like art. You know
We
what I mean?
definitely should have another lockdown just for like entertainment purposes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I watched so
Here's
many
the thing.
movies.
Honestly,
70?
No, I watched so many movies.
Oh,
I probably watched more.
I didn't create a whole bunch.
But like, I legitimately like I know it was a horrible thing and all of that, but like I benefited a lot from having that time.
we just talked about
100%.
this too. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I felt the healthiest I've ever felt in my life, mentally, spiritually, physically, because I had time
Yeah.
to do it. I feel jaded and angry that as a society, it did do all of us, including the fucking air quality in Earth.
Oh
well.
yeah.
And we just go, fuck it, go back to where we were, burn it all down, who gives a fuck? We legitimately have half a fucking country burning, and we're like, oh well, keep driving all the cars that are eating all the fuel. That's cool.
It's also kind of cool as being able to walk out in the city and there's nobody anyway.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and like, so before I ever got into like playing music or anything like that, like my first like real love was like drawing and visual art and stuff like that. And I became very disconnected from it because I went to school for graphic design. And the reason I chose graphic design was because everyone told me, oh, you need to not go for like fine art or whatever, you need to do graphic design because that's an actual job. Which is BS, because it's not an actual job. I mean, yes, there are graphic designers and it's a legit form of work, but it is the same kind of like hustle you would have to do as a fine artist. You still have to sell yourself. You're still a freelancer, you know what I mean? It's not like there are a ton of art director jobs anymore or things like that used to exist. And so I really burned myself out, and I didn't draw or paint or do anything for years and years after school. And it was only because, like, we were in the lockdown, and I was like, okay, like, I've written a bunch of music, but I don't want to, like, keep on just doing that because, like, you know, eventually...
You get burnt out.
Yeah, and also, like, then which I already feel I am, overbearing in the band in regards to the fact where I'm like, here's 8 songs I wrote, and let's learn them, you know what I mean?
It's
So,
also like drawing and writing and those kind of are just so masturbatory.
Yeah.
Practice, it's very easy to just get kind of shut off from everything else. When you're in a band, you got other people right there that you're socializing with.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, had it not been for lockdown, I would not have started drawing again, and that's, like, I am now, like, making comics and stuff like that, that's my first love, comic books, you know?
Good.
Yeah.
Abby, you're, like, silent over here. What do you do in the band again?
I play the drums.
You sing occasionally. You teach Yiddish, which is awesome,
That's true.
right?
I do, yeah.
So, as far as, like, this creation that you're putting together, how many songs are you looking to record?
All of them. I suppose 12, 13 different songs.
How do you come to be a drummer and lead singer? Okay.
I know the words to some of the songs really well,
I thought you wrote a lot of them. too.
so
Yeah.
there's that. You know, so it's easier to sing them.
When did you start playing drums?
Oh, in 2005.
I graduated high school then.
My first band was called Massive Asshole.
Oh, just gaping.
Just
Oh my
Massive asshole.
gosh. So, are you two like from Chicago and have stayed in Chicago, and that's...
He's not.
I've been here for 25 years. I used to live in Connecticut.
Oh, that's
just so you were
hilarious. Where in Connecticut are you from?
Fairfield County, Danbury.
Oh, that's funny. Yes.
Why?
Well, because my dad is also from Fairfield, so
Where's your dad from?
Fairfield.
Oh, Fairfield. Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, and where were we? We have family that still lives there, and I can't remember.
I don't have any family there anymore.
Yeah, there's a whole brood who moved out here.
Yeah.
Brood, the brood.
Yeah, my family lives here now.
Okay.
In the area. And there's no living relatives anymore back there, so.
Oh. I have an aunt who goes back there. I have great cousins that live there, and regular cousins. My dad has a lot of family still up there. There's a lot of families still in Connecticut, kind of dispersed. And then I have a friend who also lives out there. I don't know where. It's in the address.
Like 75 people in the whole state.
Yeah, it's not very many. No. But we had a blast out there because my aunt has a beach house on Long Island Sound, and so...
They had a great punk scene in like the 80s and 90s when I grew up.
Yeah, that's because Weird Ska hit there in the late 70s, early 80s, and then you really, iconically, I believe, you have Bucket from the Toasters, who is like probably one of the leading people who brought that genre
100%
to the East Coast.
Yeah.
Followed up then with, bands in DC, and you had the whole oi scene that broke out on the East Coast too, and hardcore comes from that whole thing too. So
Yeah, I grew up going to lots of ska shows as a kid.
I believe that.
As a teenager, all ages. Oh, you need an all ages thing to do. I need something to do for $5 or like.
That we had shows that were all ages in Kenosha, and they were held at the Women's Club. And then after the fucking punk rockers decided to break all the windows,
Whatever, that kid.
looking at Juicy.
Not me.
You're
That kid
Steve.
fucking got all fucked up and punched a cop in the face.
He did. That was the night that Big Frank was like, "Wait,
Pretty
fuck
awesome.
this dude, did Jack fucking beat up what's his face?
No,
Metzger."
curb stomped Bobby Anderson.
Yeah, so we got kicked out of the Women's Club. Then occasionally at the VFW, and then we went to Kemper Center.
We used to have this place here called the Underground that was right kind of uptown here. And, it was a really shitty... Everything was broken. The bathroom toilets didn't work. There was blood all over the mirrors. It was also a bar, and then they tore it down, and then we didn't have any place to play for a while. And then we ruined everything else.
The punk scene does ruin things.
That's why we can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things. And I think for a long time, that's probably why all ages shows kind of disappeared. But I think there is a resurgence. So we just did Scapleton, which was held at Appleton Brewing. But the way that they had it divided, it was easy because it's still like a pub as restaurant thing too, so they could have all ages there, which was wonderful. And I feel like that's becoming more of a thing, that bars are incorporating that pub language into their licensing and titling so that they can have spaces for all ages shows.
Is that like a Wisconsin thing, where if you're a pub, because in Chicago it's like you have to have like the bar completely separate, basically. Which is why Beat Kitchen is able to have all ages shows, because they have the bands play in the back room, and then the bar is separate, like a completely separate entrance and all that.
That's true. I don't know.
No,
Wisconsin's fucking wild.
Your parents can bring you to the bar.
Yeah, I can feed my kids lots of alcohol if I want to.
As long as you're there.
Right. So, yeah.
Anything goes.
Wisconsin.
Wild onions.
Wild onions. There's just so many layers. I don't really know if that's just a Wisconsin thing. I do know that bars can refuse, but I think there's been more of a push because the COVID thing just fucked everybody up.
Yeah.
From bands to establishments, etc. You saw this whole we've got to rethink how we do this music thing, which is why you had people who were like, I can open up my business and have I can shoot one band from this far away and it'll be fine. So I think that it's just kind of being more creative while we're continuing to drive around and put emissions into the air and warm up the earth and burn things down. I do think that some aspects were actually taken to heart and had time to make.
I can't believe we didn't get COVID at the last show we played before the lockdown.
Yeah,
that
we
place in
played-
Naperville's an all ages show, just a tiny little room.
Yeah.
It was March 6th.
Yeah, it was the week before lockdown, and dude, everyone was everyone was so packed so tight, and we were smoking weed with the bands upstairs and stuff like that. Like,
spitting in each other's
It
rubbing.
sounded like COVID was around, but nobody was taking it seriously. Like I
No,
wasn't
it
taking
was
it
like
seriously.
the next week
Yeah.
or when they were like, hey, this is the thing that is happening.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, it was a thing where it's like, hey, there's this new thing, but no one was like, hey, it's gonna destroy the world, Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, we're gonna be closed down for 2 months. Is that what they're
Yeah,
saying?
that's what everyone was saying.
Yeah.
We'll be back by April.
And then it continued. I'm sorry. I really liked not having to have that push to do
Oh,
stuff.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love not having to go anywhere. I'm already a bit of an introvert in a lot of ways. Like I said, I watched it. I consumed a lot of media during that time. And being paid to stay home was pretty cool.
Right.
I did work from home for a lot of the lockdown, but it was chill. Like it was like
I still do work at home. In my pajamas, it's great.
You teach Yiddish in your pajamas?
Yeah.
Can you say that I teach Yiddish in my pajamas?
In Yiddish.
In Yiddish?
Ich lerne Yiddish in mein Schlafmodus.
Okay. Well, you wear a dress shirt up here or no? Just always the...
No, just like in my gotchkas, like in my underwear.
Okay, cool. Wonderful.
Gotchkas in my pants.
Aw, sweet.
Like pajamas, like more like the whole. Remember, like people like wear pajamas.
yes,
like
You
the
got like the
bodysuit?
Ebenezer Scrooge style
Yeah,
one with the
yeah.
sleeping cap.
Yes.
yeah, just in my gotchkas underwear. But yeah, like you don't have to. Everyone just sees you from like waist up, so
Right.
no one knows that you're pantsless.
But if they found out, I'm pretty sure it's a felony, depending on who you're teaching.
That's the great mute button.
You can't mute video. You have to
That's right.
you gotta turn the camera off.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I can't mute, dude. We still can see all of the things. So, I worked that whole time because it was easy to just convert what I do. I'm a recruiter and a trainer and just support person. So you call me and I can talk to you wherever I am, sort of thing. But we had to take a break when the world was starting to open up again, and we were burnt out because everything had moved to that platform. We were doing this with bands every fucking week.
Yeah.
It was easy, it was convenient, but it was teaching.
Still a lot of work.
No one knows how to use technology.
No, man, no.
I am not an IT human, and I legit learned how to get into other people's stuff so I could just you're not doing it right,
Yeah.
and fix it. Because I don't know why it's so hard. It's easy. If you can ask me a question, that's what Google's for. You type the words you just asked me into a search bar, and it will probably give you the same results. And then you can see what you're doing and just do it. Right? That's
For
where
the
we
most
have
part,
these things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've frequently been at a lot of jobs that I had when I was in my 20s, the youngest guy in the office. So anything that was ever wrong with a computer fell on me to fix. You know what I mean?
As a graphic designer?
No, just generic. I worked at
computers.
in the payroll department of the clerk of a circuit court for a while.
So
and
they're just you know this, do this.
yeah, because I was legitimately 20 years younger than everyone else who worked in the office with me, and so they could call down to IT and then file a ticket and whatever, or just be like, "Hey John, what's wrong with my computer?" And I'd be like, "Just restart it," because that's always what was wrong with it.
I'm tech savvy myself, so I have usually my computer just fill up with old stuff, so I don't know how to delete on a mass scale, so then I just have to get a new computer. With phones.
You've just been filling up computers.
That's
I
That's why they're so heavy.
Why do you have a friend who knows how to do IT? I hear.
I'd have to bring my laptop to his house.
Oh, okay. Wait a second.
I mean, you're here once a week.
Yeah,
I hardly ever use a computer anyway, with phones and tablets and stuff. Most of the stuff I can do. The only time I've used a laptop in the last few, if I have to pirate something to watch something for my podcast.
I have to pirate something.
Yeah,
First world
Sometimes you
problems.
have to. Especially these days, they're pulling everything off the streamers.
They are. I know our kids were like, I miss video stores. I was like, well, at least you'll remember them.
Yeah, my generation didn't remember them. I was actually wondering if kids remembered video stores. I feel like even when I was in college, that's when like Family Video started buying up all video stores,
Yes.
like what GameStop did, and then it was just all Family Video
Is
everywhere.
GameStop a thing still? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
GameStop. They're the ones where all those like stupid stock bros were like buying like shares of.
Yes, they were
GameStop.
fucking up the market.
Yeah.
For funsies. So I also, speaking of the stock market, just briefly, I digress. Today I was just reading things on my lunch break. I was checking out CNN, and it shows, you know, up at the top it scrolls like the S&P and all the markets, and then it said what was driving it was extreme greed, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So I had to delve a little bit, and based on emotions, they rate how the stock market is doing based on fear, extreme greed, like famine, plague, and something else. And I was like, well, that's fucked up. We're
Jealousy.
dragons. Yeah, we're dragons. That's how they measure our money. And if that isn't an indicator of, like, maybe we need to try it.
I was in high school.
I saw a thing recently that was the stock market is astrology for men.
I was in high school. I think it was probably a world civics class where the teacher did this thing. It's like a stock market thing. You get to buy and trade with fake money, and then a bunch of us like made really rich. And then I was the one who actually crashed the stock market. It was a history class because we were doing like the stock market crash in like the 20s.
And you crashed it?
Yeah, because I bought a bunch of like RCA, and then we got some insider trading that RCA was going to be regulated. So I sold all my stocks; they became junk, and then everybody started selling off their stocks, and people were getting pennies for it. And so it was a cool assignment.
How did you feel about making it crash?
I mean, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Pretty badass?
Yeah.
Do you think you could do that in real life?
Oh no, because I ended up poor. Like I wasn't like a millionaire. And, like I lost all my
So
money.
in the whole moral of the story is you
Don't
will
try.
always end up poor.
Yeah, basically.
Gosh, yeah. Dragons never win. Like, have you ever read a story where a dragon has won?
I mean, what about those like How to Train Your Dragon stuff? And the dragons and humans.
They're owned by the humans. Are they winning?
I've never watched any of those things. I'm just
Shrek? I don't know.
Shrek is not a dragon.
No, but
Dragon.
No, there's a dragon in
and
Shrek, damn it.
they're in a loving relationship and they have a bunch of kids.
Here's my
I would say that dragon is winning.
here's my impression
Shrek
of.
is killer, though.
Here's
But
my impression
they
of. Oh, here's my impression of German Shrek. Dontcare.
Oh my god.
Because he says donkey in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Over and over
But
again.
now he's saying Danka.
Like, thank you.
Oh.
Dankeschön.
Oh.
A dragon heart, like the dragon dies, but he's still kind of. They killed that prince who he gave half his heart to.
I would say that's a wash.
Yeah.
We're just leveling the playing field.
I am the last one.
Oh my gosh. That's William Shatner, right? No.
No, it is Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. Is he dead?
Yes, he's very
Yes, he's dead.
I killed him.
Shatner's still alive though.
Yes,
Okay.
Shatner's still.
Even though he's
For now.
Yeah.
Coming for you, Shatner.
He stays active though. Like that's how he's still living. Like he's in his 90s, but he still like goes out and does stuff.
Are you
Rides a bike.
doing an EP or an LP?
So
Just
we
to wrap things
are
up.
trying to. So we have discussed the possibility of just putting it out all as one album, which I have been leaning toward, or doing like 3 EPs and kind of doing like, here's all our surf stuff on one EP, here's our ska stuff on one EP, here's all our punk stuff on one EP. So we'll see how it comes out. You know?
Yeah, a lot of it depends on like when we get everything all recorded together and what we want to do with it. Right now we're just kind of playing it by ear. So we just want to get the songs recorded, then we can package them however.
How many songs do you have?
So 12 or 13. We haven't decided if we're doing the 13th one yet. Yeah.
Baker's Dozen.
Yeah.
Then how many? So who's gonna mix master?
So my plan is I'm going to take a stab at mixing it myself, and when that fails, I'm going to go to my buddy Chris and have him do it.
Yeah, just recording everything ourselves and hiring somebody too.
Yeah.
Are you
Master
just
it.
releasing this on digital platforms?
We
Probably
really
do
want
that.
to do vinyl. We
It'd
really
be
want
awesome,
to.
but
We want to figure out a way to do that, but obviously that costs a lot of money. Also, like my last band that I was in, this is like a long time ago, Weird Science, we did a cassette release, and so that is something that's pretty easy to do, you know what I mean?
Sound really familiar.
Weird Science.
We were off.
It does sound really familiar.
Weird Science?
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't a movie. Yeah,
It wasn't a movie.
I know it was a movie, but I feel like it's. I don't know. I
Boingo
feel like
Boingo?
we've heard this.
How long ago was that?
Weird Science was active from like, I want to say
I feel like
2009 to 2012 or 13.
I swear to God, we listened to something on YouTube. Unless there's another band called that.
It's possible
Could
that
be,
there's
brother.
another band because I know that we had an issue back in the day because there was like a cover band that did like 80s song called Weird Science.
This
They were
was
like,
an original, because Betcher, I think, was over here when we found it. And he's our friend who finds all the weird, obscure, like you wouldn't think exists bands. But speaking of which, yeah, your double slash things. So as you were playing, I go through and I post and blah, blah, blah. And one Chicago group I'm in immediately declined it. And it said that there were things wrong with my wordings or something. And I
Yeah.
was like, what the hell? So I went back and I changed it. And then I had to delete the whole thing and then try again. So I don't know. They might just also have me blocked because I think they think I'm a spammer. But like, my content is
Just
real.
a spam kid.
Just a spam
The
kid.
Spam Kid.
Yeah. Which, who is it? Isn't it Save Ferris that sings a song about spam anyway?
yeah.
It's pink and it's mobile spam. You buy it at the mobile spam.
You know the term for like too many emails, spam mail, that comes from the Monty Python sketch.
Oh,
From like people like going to like the movies and stuff and just not shutting up about it.
gotcha. Nice. I didn't know that.
I think it was actually on like message board. People be talking about Monty Python. They just say spam, 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 spam.
Yeah.
Just annoy people.
It's also
annoying,
because
that's
in that
why
sketch
they,
itself, it's also because in that sketch itself, when someone says spam, everyone else goes spam, 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 spam,
Yeah.
you know, it's endlessly repeating.
Yes.
Great sketch though.
So what are your influences that lead you to make the music you do currently?
So definitely, Dead Kennedys is a big influence. Dead Milkman, Agent Orange, and like I would say for like the more ska stuff and what like I'm a big Operation Ivy fan. Suicide Machines, all that good stuff, and then surf stuff like it really is like Dick Dale and Ventures and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm into. I know that like me and Luke are definitely connect a lot over like Dead Milkman.
Yeah.
Avi is very into like basically all your DIY street punk bands from the 90s that like we all grew up on and stuff like that. So it's that kind of like influence. I'm definitely very like an old school punk guy. Like I love like Ramones, Dead Kennedys, all that kind of early 80s, mid 70s stuff.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds
really
pretty much
fun.
all them because I came in later, as we said already, and a lot of the tentpole songs were already made. I just needed to learn them.
Yeah.
I think it was like Frustration. That first song we played is probably the one that like I had that bass line that we've been screwing around with for a long time, and we finally made a song out of it. That's kind of how we do stuff now. Like sometimes we'll have a bass line and like.
Frustration is like the 100% written by Nowhere Don't Care song.
Yeah,
Like
no one person in
Yeah.
particular.
because he wrote the like the first half of the song, then I wrote like the ska part and like whatnot, and Avi wrote all the lyrics. So that is like our true like collaboration, as opposed to me just being like, here's a song, or me going to Avi, here's some music, write lyrics to it. You know what I mean? Because like that when we started off, and it's still true, I have like a million riffs that can always like I can deploy them at any time if we want to write a song, but I don't have like necessarily lyrics for everything. Avi has a lot of lyrics, so
yeah.
perfect marriage right there, you know.
Wonderful. And Luke?
Luke's holding it down on the bass.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, usually like they'll come with a riff or something, or I'll provide a riff, and then we'll play it in practice and kind of just figure it out from there. Usually we just screw around the first time and introduce them the next time. If we like it enough, then we'll try and like hammer it down a bit. It would take like a week to write a song by committee. More or less, yeah.
Totally. That's like, and like the thing that I like about when we really collaborate is that like it becomes something that is truly like unique on itself, because like I feel like a lot of times when I write, the stuff that I bring is very like, this is a song in the style of, you know, I mean, not that I'm like doing pastiches of bands or stuff, but it's just like, this sounds like a, you know, 70s punk song, this sounds like whatnot, whereas like when we all collaborate, it's actually sounds like Nowhere to Care, this unique sound, you know?
How did you get this name?
We came up with it.
Kind of.
Your turn to talk, sir.
Okay. So, like I said, I was from Connecticut, and there was this band called band that was called East Coast Panic, which was a super group, you know, members of other super groups.
Mm-hmm.
But they had this anthem song that I always really liked, and they had this lyric that said, "We know where we're going, nowhere. We know where we've been, don't care. We know right where we are, East Coast. Your world's coming to an end." So East Coast Panic, still great band. But I always thought that would make a great tattoo or a great band name. So it's a band name. Nowhere, don't care.
Yep.
Could still be a tattoo.
It could be a tattoo. It could be your tattoo.
It could
Point
be
of the camera.
It could be
Or you.
Or you.
Or you.
Do you have merchandise?
No.
Are you going?
Yes.
Yes,
we're
we're
gonna make
working on
t-shirts.
some t-shirts.
Avi has this great.
Can you please have a hot dog that says "Nowhere, don't care" and mustard across it?
Yes, we can.
Because I think that would just be very
Our like
nice.
loose logo is called Sandwich Guy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a
it's
drawing
guy
of a
eating
guy
sandwich.
eating a
It's on our garage band.
Yeah, he's like
Eat a sandwich.
Yeah, band camp.
Yeah.
So we might use Sandwich Guy.
That's our like Descendants guy. You know, that's our
you know,
Circle
picnic
Jerks
table.
Mosher. That's our.
Circle One.
We wanted to do a while back
Bars.
before the pandemic. We wanted to make some shirts that had like a phone number on the back. We do like a dial in, and we get like a little
like
short
a dial-a-tune type
Yeah.
deal, like They Might Be Giants had back in the day.
That would be
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Maybe we
We haven't
will.
done it yet, so
Stay tuned.
And where can people find you on the interwebs?
So we're Nowhere Don't Care on Facebook. So you at Nowhere Don't Care, no / in it.
Which I was having.
Yeah. And then we're on Bandcamp, Nowhere Don't Care, 182.bandcamp.com. That's really our entire social media presence at the moment.
Yeah.
When we have an Instagram and we have a Twitter, but we don't really use them. Once we actually put out the whatever form our record's going to be in, then we'll start using that.
seems to be a
stuff.
changing of the guard of social media going on.
Yeah,
now.
maybe we'll get on Threads. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know what that is.
That's the new thing.
That's where like while Elon Musk is trying to sue Mark Zuckerberg because all the people he fired are going over to Threads.
What? I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Nobody has time for
You know
that.
what? The only one who has time for that is fucking Gandalf in the box over here. He's gonna march his ass over to fucking Mordor and I don't know, win something, but he'd melt because Frosty can't be by volcanoes. So, anyways, with that, do you have any upcoming shows?
No.
Not right now, no. We don't have anything. But I would want to direct people to my comic. It's called No Frontier. You can read it on disposablecomics.com.
No Frontier. I thought you meant no frontier. Like, they're crying out the back end.
No,
I don't know why that
I
popped into my
meant like,
head.
you know, how space is the final frontier.
Yes, there
Well,
is.
there is no final. There's no good.
Right.
Yeah. It takes place in the future. It's like
No!
a whole thing.
There's a bug in my eye. Oh my god.
What are the fucking odds?
I don't
You're
know.
not even walking.
No! Bugs like my eyeballs. Oh my god. So anyways,
They're like her eyes.
in
Flying
conclusion,
insects like her
this has
eyes.
been Nowhere Don't Care. You can catch them primarily, currently, on Bandcamp and Facebook until the Dragons battle out whose social media will be best. And I guess stay tuned.
Yeah.
You guys will let us know, right? When
We
you
will-
release stuff?
I am 100% saying that we will have something available digitally, at least, even if we don't have physical media, in the fall. So keep an eye out. September, October, we're coming for you.
Wonderful.
And I host a podcast called Podzooky, Podzooky, available anywhere you get podcasts at.
Podcasts, if they want to learn Yiddish, how do they do that?
Give your contact, dude. Seriously, get them students.
Just contact.
Is it bedtime?
Yeah, contact the band.
And I'll deal with you later. That's wonderful, Avi. And then Comic Books Podcasts Yiddish. I'm Jess the Ska Kid. In a couple weeks, August, we'll have Cutters from Milwaukee. They are a hardcore band. So stay tuned for that because we've been crazy busy with our own little kids and stuff. Just stay tuned for dates. As we have them available, just based on our children's band schedule. And with that, we will bid you adieu so these guys can go to bed and we can go to our real lives tomorrow morning. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Come on, little cat, you got her